Good morning, everybody. I am just sharing this around. So give me a moment. Thank you, thank you. All right, one more place. Ba-dum-bum. How is everybody doing? If you are just joining in, let me know if it's your first time. Let me know where you're from. Um, if you have any prayer requests, feel free to drop them in the chat. Hope everybody is doing good. Da-dum-bum. Okay, I think that's all shared around now. Yes, indeed. So let me get back to where I can see the comments. Yay. So some of you, good morning, Miss Kelly, praying for you, sister. Quentin, yes, all glory be to him. It's beautiful outside. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So hopefully everybody is doing well. Hold on one second here. I'm just checking things out on my end so I can see them. I can see them. So you could be joining from a lot of different places. I share this around to all the groups that I am an admin in, also on my Onward with Molly, Cooking with Molly page. Um, Hi, Steph. How are you? Every Tuesday, I have been led to come on here. Hi, Rosemary, and share a little Jesus with you. Hi, Mary Becker. How are you? Yes, pray for our community and all law enforcement. Absolutely, sister. Every single day. Um, Family is retired from law enforcement, so there was a lot of law enforcement that we knew in our family every single day. Hi, Eileen. So I come on here, share this with all. You may feel like, oh, I'm just going to keep scrolling. Molly's talking about Jesus again. And I am. Jesus comes into it. Let me be honest. He does. Um, but I think the things that I talk about on Tuesday morning are also things that in some way you're probably looking for some of this stuff in your life. Or maybe you are experiencing a lot of that stuff in your life. Today we're going to be talking about peace. We're going to be talking about what we experience all the time, which is a lot of people who are poor. And yet we are the people who are consistently talking about how bad life is, correct? Somebody's been playing with my lights. Probably me, guys. Hold on. Ooh, I think that's it. Okay, good. Um, so my job, I've always felt led, whether it's with my team or in the Avon world, in my tribe, my community, or family, friends, whatever it is, always to try to lead with love. And sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes that's not easy to lead with love, right? I get it. And but we should. We should, and we should find ways to do that. The other thing we struggle with in this day and age is peace. Where do you find your peace? I find that people are looking for all different things. They're looking for joy, they're looking for love, most of the time in all the wrong places. Hope. Hope is a big one. And some people are just looking for a genie in the bottle, right? And I'm here to tell you that's not there. Um, but I do know this. I am going to be 60 years old in June. And there are many times that I purposely dismissed Jesus from my life. Dismissed. Whether I was mad at him for a situation in life, whether it was things I was taught and didn't have answers. It was just, you do this because I say do this. Um, so many times. But what I do know looking back is the only reason I made it through a lot of those times is because God never gave up on me. Even when I cut off all direct communication with him, he didn't give up on me. I don't know too many of my people in my life who've been that way. You know? Hi Peg, how are you? I don't know. Hi Nita. I don't know too many people who just stick through thick and thin. And when I was reading about trying to prepare for this just a little bit today, what I didn't know was how God was going to keep talking to me through what I do here. Look, I love helping people. I love inspiring people. I love praying for people. I love showing people that through my life, you can get through just about anything. I don't care if it's cancer. I don't care if it's a loved one betraying you. I don't care if it's that you feel like you've lost a job and there's no hope, if things aren't coming through for that home that you want, if things aren't great between you and your kids. I feel like Lee and I and Ann were talking about this last night. We had mowed the grass and all of that stuff, and was just sitting looking out the yard, and um, it is difficult for me to say this now, and I heard myself say it last night. You all know I lost my mom when she was only 44. I was 16 when I lost mom, going on 17. And it's a tough time to lose your mom, especially if you're a girl. If you're a guy too, tough time. And it kind of, it imploded my family. It imploded everything that I knew. It imploded my daddy. It did all of those things. You know what I mean? It was tough. But in talking last night, the way that Ann and Lee and I do a lot, and if many of you, if you don't know Ann, Ann is my sister-in-law. She lives with us down here in North Carolina. You all know my brother died a few years ago. Good morning, Teresa Paul. How are you, sweet thing? Love my girl T. One of my most favorite people in the whole world. Love you, T, and love Mr. Bob. It's hard to say this, and I know for many of you who've either lost your parents, or you're on the verge of I'm not. It's always hard. I miss my mom every day. But this is what I do know and what I've realized getting ready to turn 60 years old. This is what I know. When my mom died and my world imploded, what I know is, had my mom still been alive, my life, my direction in life would have been totally different. I think my mom would have pushed for me to go to college just to find a husband. And hopefully it was going to be a pastor or a missionary. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. So if you're somebody married to a pastor or a missionary, that's where God wants you. That's cool, okay? But obviously God had different plans. And when my mom had cancer, I guess God had to look down and say, I'm not sure how I'm going to use this, but it's up to God to use any circumstance that happens in your life. What does that do for you or somebody else going forward? For the longest time, it completely destroyed me, and it sent me on paths, and some of those paths I have yet to share with all of you who think that you know everything about me. And I'm not exactly proud of a lot of those moments. But here's what I do know about the moments I've shared and the moments I haven't shared. I have figured out at almost 60 that if what had happened did not happen when my mom, due to that deadly disease called cancer, was taken out of here, I believe that was a shift in my universe that is devastating. Hi, Karen. As devastated as the shift was, that all of these bad turns I've made, all of the bad decisions that I've made, the not so workable marriage that I had, the two wonderful boys that I have who are getting ready to turn 30 and 37, and those times when they weren't talking to me, those tough times during the divorce, the things that I got caught up in when I was young, the fact that my dad basically said, I don't have time for you. It's time for you to be out on your own. If you're not going to do things my way, blah, 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 it's time for you to go because I choose this family. That was tough, y'all. That was so tough. Feeling betrayed, feeling like I wasn't good enough, right? Little did I know that that 17-year marriage that ended in failure, which was my definition at the time, little did I know that those things led me to where I am right here this morning. I need you to know that. I believe that if my mom had not gotten sick, I'm not saying God couldn't have used me in another way, because he could have, very much so. But here I am in the year 2023 at almost 60 years old. And I am able to look back at every life experience I have and realize that if you're watching this live, replay, YouTube, no matter what happens, I have been placed here to talk to you about my journey and about how I got through all those times that I don't know how I got through them. Morning, Susan. Thanks for joining. I need you to know that there was a time I would never tell you about Jesus. I was pissed at Jesus. There was a time that I would tell you I blamed him, I blamed God for everything that happened in my life that was not good. And then when it was good, I didn't exactly give him the glory for that either. I think God knew I was going to have a story through all those struggles. And you all see me, my quotes, the struggle is real, onward no matter what, it's the journey. See, I was learning that during all the times I was posting that and I was feeling that. And all of you who have followed me for almost 20 years in Avon, all of these things, all of these experiences, all of these things that you all helped me to finally be bold enough to share with you. You know, look, there are people that you follow on social media or in life, and what you think is this. Their life is so great. Oh my God, everything is so wonderful. Their relationship is wonderful. Their clothes are wonderful. They're healthy. Their weight is their weight is just right. Everything they do is just perfect. And see, I'm not that person. I'm not that person, y'all. That's not me. No. You are following me not for the drama, but because everything that I've gone through, I have found an opportunity to share it with you. And maybe not everything. Hi, Darce. Hey, Sue Ann. Prayer request. My dad injured his back. Oh, girl. Oh, wow, girl. My sister needs prayer for her and her through. She adjusted what life moving forward. Absolutely, sister. Absolutely. In our prayers. Steph says, Molly, you are real. I try to be. I do. Look, I love the pictures of me where I can have my makeup on and I can be your Avon lady or your Avon mentor or your Avon team leader, whatever that looks like, right? I love being the person who at times I can be put together, right? I love it. I love doing my hair. You all know I have an earring fetish. You know I do. I love wearing the makeup for my company. I love wearing the clothes for I love sharing that stuff. And I would love to tell you that that's all my life consists of, is all those good things. But there's not just good things. We are in this thing called life. And I honestly don't understand how people today get through life without God. Now, let me be clear. When things happened back in the day, even when God and I weren't on great terms, love you, T. Have a good day, sweetheart. I miss you too. Let me be clear. When something was happening that was devastating, my niece being hit in a car, hit by a drunk driver in a car accident, and we thought we were going to lose Karen. I'll never forget that. Little Earl was little. Anthony was just a baby. Karen was going to work, and a drunk driver crossed the center line and hit her head on. I can remember then dropping to my knees. I can remember then praying, God, you have to save her. She's so young, God. She's meant for more than this. Please, God, please. And you're promising him the world, whatever it is you want from me, I'll do, that kind of thing. And Karen came through that. And I'm sure it wasn't just because of my prayers. I'm sure it was everybody praying. And this was, of course, long before social media or anything. So I can remember those times that when I needed him, I reached out. I can remember that when things were bad in my marriage, that I would say, I don't understand. Why am I not enough? I don't understand. Why doesn't he love me the way I want to be loved? I don't understand. Why doesn't he want to hang with me and the boys? What is it that I can do? And I realized the problem wasn't me, but it took me a lot of years to realize that. It wasn't my boys. The problem was with the individual. He had to want more. It wasn't that we weren't enough. Sometimes I feel like he is still trying to find what he wants. And I hope he does. But if he doesn't look to God and if he doesn't realize everything wonderful he has now, my ex-husband has a wonderful, wonderful wife now who I have just grown to love and appreciate. One, because she treats my boys so well. And for the longest time, they didn't want to give her a chance. And I think a lot of that was because they were striving, that they were hoping if they only had their dad's attention, that it would be okay, and they didn't want him to give anybody else attention. But then in the midst of all of that, I feel like this lady realized that there were two young boys who needed her too in the midst of all this, and she has been there for them. And I'm not saying that their dad hasn't. Their dad just has some struggles in life, and I will forever be grateful for him, because without him, those two boys, they don't exist, right? And there was a purpose. Look, I've learned so much through my boys. But my journey, this thing, it would have been completely different if, can you imagine Mama Molly being a meek, non saying anything pastor's wife or missionary's wife? I mean, can I just put it out there? All of you who truly know me, you've seen me on stage, you Avon people, you've seen me at events, you see me here when we're live. Can you imagine them trying to fit me into the box of being a meek pastor's wife? Can you? Southern Baptist, Independent Baptist, whatever you want to call it. Can you imagine? I got to tell you, I think God knew right away, well, girl, the only way we could heal your mama was to bring her to heaven. So that's what we did. But we know this is going to put an explosive thing into your life, and you're going to have to find your way. And I think God said, but I have no worries with her. No matter how bad she gets, no matter how bad the path gets, no matter how windy it is, no matter how hilly it is, no matter how many times she falls, I'm going to walk her through this. I'm going to be with her, and she's not going to get it, and she's probably not even going to feel me, but I'm never going to leave her alone. And I'm here to tell you that he hasn't. Every step of the way. Why is it when we're older sometimes that God finally gets your attention? For all you youngins who love Mama Molly, and I get on here and I talk to you about the love of God and the love that I have for you, I need you to know something. I need you to catch this early. One of the big things I tell my team all the time is the reason I tell you about this, and this is so that you will know ahead of time. The young kids are good with this. Well, I have to walk my own path. I need to make my own mistakes to learn this. Do you know why I know you say that? Because that was me. I wish I had listened to some of the adults in my life who tried to say, Molly, this isn't a good path you're on. Molly, this isn't good. Molly, this is going to be a hard lesson for you, I feel. Oh, and if I could go back to every one of them and say, you're right. Some people think it's not cool when you talk about God. But I need you to know that I feel like it's not cool if I don't. Because if you don't ever experience God, Jesus, if you don't ever experience that higher power, because I never told you, tell me, what kind of a friend does that make me? That I'm going to worry about you being angry. Well, Molly, if you're not talking about Avon, I don't want to talk to you. That's okay. I'm not mad at you for that. We can do it. Molly, if you're not talking about life or being funny or giving me a recipe or whatever it is, Molly, I'm not going to that's okay. Molly, I'm going through something in my life that right now I'm pissed at God. I need you to know that's okay. It's okay because I've been where you're at. It's okay. I know, Mary. I hear you. Girl, me neither when I think about it. A lot of churches will tell you, a lot of religions will tell you, and oh, the ones who are friends with me on here are probably just going to unfriend me, and that's okay. But you'll be back. I know you will. Um, they don't believe that women should speak up, that women should not be heard in the church. They believe that that women should not preach the gospel. They believe that women cannot be pastors. I've got to tell you something. You need to go back and read your Bible. Instead of working on the judgment of what you're taking from two verses in the Bible, why don't you actually go through and read the Bible and look at how God used women? And I'm not just talking about Mary, Jesus's mother, or Mary Magdalene, I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about the women who helped to grow churches in the Bible. If you're going to preach to me, you better bring the whole Bible, because I got to tell you, I'm going to show you where God has used women in this world to make a massive difference. Because whether you like it or not, when you have a man up there preaching and women are going through something that a man could never understand, a man could never even comprehend because we are made different. When you've got him telling you how you need to deal with something, and you feel like you can't deal that way, and then you're the failure because you don't trust God, no. No, God made women for a reason, and I got news for you. As much as I love my pancakes and my waffles and my cream chip beef that we had last night, I need you to know God didn't put me on this planet just to cook you dinner, okay? He didn't put me on here just to sew the buttons on your shirt. He didn't send me down here just to have babies for you. God has a purpose for me, and I have decided I'm going to live out that purpose. That means that for those who want to open their ears, I need you to know I am here for you to hear. I need you to know that God can use you where you're at, whether you're poor, whether you're going through something, no matter what. Hi, Trace, how are you? No matter what that is, I need you to know he has a plan for you. And even while you're trying to get it right, and even when you're trying to find it, and you're going to mess up, you're going to go down all these paths that you never had to go down. If you had just gone down where you were being led, it would have been a lot simpler. But we're not that way. We're not cut out that way. We are human, and we all think that we know better than God. I get that. Sometimes I still do. Do you know I still have conversations with God where I'm like, Lord, I kind of think you want me to go here, but I was thinking. If we could just go do this and this first, and God's just shaking his head, going, girl, I know what you're going to do. You go ahead. But had you just stayed on the path, it would have been much simpler. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Hello, Tammy. Thanks for joining. I need you to know that I have been put in your life, in your path for a purpose. I may not know you. I may not have ever met you. We may have been in each other's lives for a while through the business, through social media. Maybe you found me on Instagram. Maybe you saw me on TikTok. Maybe it look. And for those who've always known me, this doesn't make me this doesn't make me different. It makes me better. It brings me peace to know that you had to trust me first as an individual in my journey. And when God was ready, he decided to use this vessel. This girl who could lose another 40 pounds. This girl who looks much better with makeup than without makeup. This girl who has this crazy hairdo and loves to laugh at herself finally in life. Who has learned how to forgive herself for anything that I've done that just doesn't make sense now when I look back. For not being the mom that I should have been at times or the wife that I should have been at times. For the impatience that I've shared with you and the fact that I had to stay the course. To a business where I have risen to the top and hit the top channels and in my company, but man, the struggle was real. And I have fluctuated like most people do, or maybe some people don't ever fluctuate. I don't know. But I have, and I believe there are more people in business who have their ups and downs than there are people who just stay up. And I have realized that that is okay, and that my journey when that happens is to share with you so you don't feel alone. That's what I know. That's what I know. So, just a little tidbit just to let you know why this happens. Why am I in your life? For some of you, it'll be entertainment. For some of you, it will be Avon. For some of you, it will be, I don't know. I just ran across you. It was YouTube. It was Instagram. It was this. It was that. For some of you, it will be family. It will be friends. For some of you, it'll be you're not with Avon anymore, but we stayed connected because we have a connection. I want you to know that whatever it is, it's not a mistake. It's not a coincidence. You're supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to love you. Aw, Tracy. I love you, girlfriend. And Tracy, can I tell you, I am so proud of you and you finding what you're doing in business. You have such a skill. You have such a just a gift with what you're doing. I need you to know that I don't say it enough, but I'll be like DoorDashing girl and I'll see something on a break and I'll be like, look at her, look what she's doing. Your Mama Molly, is so proud of you. I just need you to know that what you're doing is you create beautiful things. You help people in all kinds of businesses. You bring joy to people's life, and I want you to know that. Linda. Hello, Linda Church. Love you, love you, love you. Good to see you on here, my friend. Hello, Michelle. So let me read this passage to you real quick, okay? This is taken from my Embraced book. Okay, love this, love this. I was given this when I was going through my cancer scare by my friend Kathy, and this book just keeps giving, even though I've been through it. Um, this is called "The Real Peace We Need." The verse this is based on is John 20:19. On the evening of the first day of the week, when the disciples were together with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." When Jesus rose from the grave and appeared in the midst of his disciples meeting behind locked doors, and listen, When they say he appeared in the midst of his disciples behind locked doors, yes, that means he just showed up. He didn't use the key. Nobody went and unlocked the door. He had rose again and he just showed up. That's amazing, but a lot of people miss that. I imagine they were stunned, they were shocked, and they were overjoyed. With great intentionality, Jesus chose the words he used to greet them. Of all the themes he could have selected at that moment, he picked what they needed most. What was it? Joy? Hope? Love? While all of these certainly would have been appropriate, Jesus didn't touch on any of them. He simply said over and over again, "Peace be with you." According to John 20, it's the first thing he said. He said it again before breathing on them to receive the Holy Spirit. Then, when addressing Thomas and his doubts, he said it yet again. Each time Jesus is recorded as saying this, the writer ends the sentence with an exclamation point. So I don't think he was like, "Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Peace." It was "Peace be with you." I believe he was intentional. That exclamation point, we know. Peace be with you. I can imagine that he was very intentional, or maybe peace be with you. Maybe every word was spoken that way. Not only was Jesus intentional, he was also emphatic. His words were conveyed with great emphasis and urgency. Why peace? And why did Jesus use the particular phrase, "Peace be with you"? I have a theory. The world is very good at conjuring up facets. Temporary moments of worldly happiness can appear joyful. The world takes hope and mistakes it for wishful thinking, and the world has made love an everyday word used to describe a feeling that can change quickly. The word's offering of joy, hope, and love is fleeting, temporary, and dangerously unstable, but it can put on a good show in the short term. I got that promotion, joy. I think we can afford the house, hope. He likes spending time with me. I think I'm in love. Haha, we've all been there, all of them. However, jobs can be lost in an instant. Houses can be foreclosed on, or you realize you have to clean them. And relationships can end. Been there. So really, what the world offers for a moment or two, they're false versions of joy, hope, and love. But it cannot offer false peace. It can offer peaceful settings and rituals to conjure up peaceful thoughts, but not true soul contentness. The peace that flows despite circumstances can only be found through Jesus being with us. That's why Jesus phrased it the way he did. Peace be with you. See, he was right there, y'all. Peace be with you. I am here, he was saying. I am peace. Peace be with you. In other words, you can walk through anything, my sweet daughter and son, if you realize that I am peace and I am with you. Man, that's some stuff right there, y'all. That is some stuff. Peace be with you. Jesus be with you. God be with you. Dude, it's all the same. Thank you, Lord, that you are peace and you are with me. Help me remember that you are with me everywhere I go, no matter what the day may bring. Wow. Sometimes, like when my anxiety, and guys, look, I know Jesus, but I still get anxiety. Kelly, it's called Embrace. It's by Liza Turkush, and that is LYSATERKEURST. I will try to post a picture of it. This book has been so helpful, and I think it will help you. It is called Embraced. It's 100 devotions to know God is holding you close. And everyone is a different story. Man, it is just, look, I get anxiety. And not as bad as I have in the past. Believe me, I am learning to work through it and give it to God. But I will feel something coming on, or I will feel myself getting anxious about, oh no, this medical bill is here. This is coming. I've got to do this. Oh, business didn't do as well this campaign. Whatever. What does that mean? Blah, blah, blah. I will be in all this. And then I will immediately just stop now and go, God, take this. You know. Because He knows. He knows before it happens what's going to happen, what I need in the moment, but what He needs is for me to trust Him. He needs me to say, God, I know that you know what's going on, and you know that I want it fixed right now, and that may not be possible, but God, I need you to calm me down and to trust you. To trust you. Whew. And then what happens is I just keep going, and you know what's funny? By the end of the week, it happens. All of you know, besides Avon, Lee and I go out. We DoorDash a few days a week. And some weeks are not as good as other weeks. But I need to tell you something. God always comes through in a lot of different ways. Sometimes we'll think it's not going to be a great week and it'll end up a great week. Sometimes DoorDash won't be a great week, but Avon will be a better week. And sometimes God shows me how I can be more frugal, or maybe I need to be more frugal in ways, and to hold back from what I want, hold back from the spending, hold back. There's just so many things, y'all. But since bringing God back into my life of my own desire and getting into my Bible, into these devotions, and really just finding things, I've realized that there's a lot of things in life at almost 60 for me that are fleeting. There's a lot of things I have experienced in life, and boy, have I figured out it isn't all great. And things that I thought were going to bring me a high did for a moment, and then no sooner did it happen, here comes the fall, that what you thought was going to be great maybe wasn't so great after all. But He also has showed me not to give up on Him and not to give up on myself. Because He never gives up on me, ever. And He is the only one that in times when it's hard and I need peace in my life, He brings the peace. So yeah, I hope some of you will get that book. I'm sure Liza will appreciate it. But boy, it has really helped me, which is why I kind of shift gears with this and started using this book, because I feel like it has a whole lot for you guys. Okay, next chapter of The Chosen. Again, if you're not watching the series, I'm going to keep saying it. You can watch this on Netflix, so many things. The Angel app is free. You can watch all 3 seasons on there. The Chosen is basically the story of Jesus' life, but through the eyes of His followers, His disciples, His mom, the Pharisees, the people who saw Him, the people who were threatened by Him. We see Him not how He says to see Him, but how other people saw Him. And that this has really, really helped me. So a lot of people can't afford these, and I was able to at a time, so I like sharing them. So this is chapter 17, and I thought it's interesting. This one says poor, because you all know lately with all the door dashing and stuff I've been doing that I have really got a heart for the homeless community out there. I mean, people who are struggling, and maybe they're not homeless, but they are really, really struggling. A lot of people, and I know what it is to be in that struggle or to be fearful of being homeless. I've lived there a few times in my life, and luckily for me, God has always provided somebody to help me pick up the pieces, and I will always be grateful for that. But this one's called Poor, and this comes from Luke 6:19 and 20. The people all tried to touch Him because power was coming from Him and healing them all. Looking at His disciples, He said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God." No doubt some of the crowds following Jesus brought with him a heavy dose of chaos. The most broken humanity were coming out in droves. Logistically, there wasn't exactly a color coded triage system in play or roped off lines with turnstiles to help with crowd control. It was an unmitigated free for all. It was a totally new kind of thing for the desperate and for the disciples. Moreover, there was an obvious relational disconnect. The disciples clearly didn't view the people the same way Jesus did. They were all in when it came to following Jesus, but learning to love and serve his chosen was another matter. That would take time. One day before ministering to the crowd, Jesus called a time out and sat down with his disciples. It was the perfect opportunity to chat with his kingdom perspective. It was a perfect opportunity to chat about his kingdom perspective regarding the growing mob of poor people following them around. He kicked off his teaching with, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God." In other words, that mess over there, fellas, it's beautiful. And guess what? They're not so different from you. Ooh, did he just not bam, did he not just give it to them? I mean, seriously. Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. In other words, that mess over there, the poor people, you guys, you know, the ones who don't dress like everybody else, the ones who maybe haven't taken a shower, the ones who look scruffy, the ones who you're like, Lord, seriously, have you not brushed your hair in 3 days? Those people, that mess over there, fellas, is beautiful. And guess what? They're not so different from you. Jesus explained the new pecking order, an upside down system where the first would be last and the last would be first. All those broken folks were now the VIPs of God's kingdom. They were blessed, fortunate, and better off than the most educated, able-bodied elite. Not because they were financially poor and physically diseased, but because their desperation made them humble and open to all that Jesus had to offer. The rich were certainly invited, but few of them were poor enough in spirit to receive. Read that again. The rich were certainly invited. He invites everybody, y'all. But few of them were poor enough in spirit to receive. Humility is found in low places, and Jesus didn't just tolerate or pity the desperate and chaotic crowds. He delighted in their humility. He esteemed them and came to revive their hearts and heal their bodies. The disciples slowly but surely began to grasp that far beyond the physical healings, the promises of God towards the poor were staggering, eternal. Many of those who were coming out in droves, the most broken of humanity, were leaving healed and blessed, heirs in the kingdom of the Most High. This was the new thing, the unmitigated free-for-all of Christ's love. This is what the high and exalted one says, "He who lives forever, whose name is holy, I live in a high and holy place, but also with him who is contrite and lowly in spirit, to revive the spirit of the lowly, to revive the heart of the contrite." Isaiah 57:15 told us back in the Old Testament that Jesus was coming, and that when he came, he was going to revive the people who everybody else cast out. Tell me, how many of you have seen a person come to conference and maybe they're not dressed like you? They haven't figured out how to dress. They haven't figured out how to bring themselves. Did you ever think that maybe they bought the best they had? That that's all they had? When I saw that, I was never one to run away from those people at conference, because let me tell you something. This isn't just about Jesus and God. This is about you as a person. This is about how are you going to embrace people? Because for me, I would want people to embrace me. And there were times in my life, and still are at times, like it or not, there are so many who are above me financially. There are so many people who have it better. There's more income coming in. Their houses are bigger. Their jewelry is more expensive. Their businesses are doing better. It doesn't matter what that looks like. Those people, sometimes to me, seem to be the ones who just are missing something. That there's a lot of fake going on, that there's a lot of trying to act like they're happy, but there's also a lot of judgment with the people who don't have or don't perform as they do. Even in my darkest days when I was casting God out of my life, I never could be that person. I was the person that when that person didn't want to come to me, I took the steps to walk up to them at conference to say, we are so glad that you're here. We are so glad that you made it. We are so glad that you showed up for you and your business. You are going to love this experience. And then there were people who would go, what is wrong with you? Why? I don't understand. You know, when I have meet and greets at events, there are people in my life who don't understand. Why do you just stand there for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours and greet people and talk to people and love people, and people just stand in line to see you, and they're looking for the Mama Molly hug, and they just want to tell you how their business is or ask you a question. Why do you do that, Molly? Why? You don't get paid for that. Why do you do that? Because I remember being where they are. Because maybe I am the one person who's going to let them know that they are worthy. That they can do whatever it is they want to do, and they can do it the way they want to do it. Why? Because of love. Why? Because I was put here to love all of you, whether you got money, whether you got clout, whether you don't. But do you know the ones that are the most less judgmental of me? The people who think that they're not good enough to come up and even talk to me. The people who are struggling in life, who put every last dime together to come to something, who are just trying to make it every day in life. If those are the people who are drawn to me, I will take it. I will take it every day, that if I can keep that heart of Jesus that says, bring it, come to me. I am here to talk to you as well as to talk to the person who is making 4 times the amount of money I am, who has a husband who's making 4 times the amount of money that I could probably ever dream of. Because what I want to do, I want to make a difference because of my message. I want to make a difference because of what I can share that I've been through in life. I want to convey Jesus to you, because he is the only reason. Good morning, Jess. How are you, girlfriend? Love you. He is the only reason that I am still here, to help you see how he's made a difference in my life. He is the only reason that I am still alive, to tell you that you can be better and do better, and that you can be loved just where you are. Just where you are. If you've had a bad experience with church, if you had a bad experience with a Christian who's judgmental, you know that thing I talked about earlier, where they say that women shouldn't do what I'm doing right now, basically. And God knows, put me up on a church pulpit and they're going to say that just, lightning's going to come strike me. Well, you go ahead. But you're going to have a talk with Jesus about that, because my job is to make sure that everybody who feels a connection with me understands that really their connection is not just with me, it's also with the God that I serve. And maybe you've had no experience with God. I am here to tell you that every battle that I fight, whether I win it or whether I have to get back up and fight it again, every battle has been where it should have been because that is where He's placed me. And if He's put me in your life in any area, it's not a mistake. Even if you're somebody who truly you're like, I'm not even sure I like you, Molly. I'm just not even sure I like you. That's okay. Hang around. You don't have to like me to hear the message. You don't have to like me to know that if this day sucks, if you're worried about something, if you have a sick kid, if you have a sick mom, if you have somebody who's dying, if life is such a struggle right now in this moment, I need you to know you're going to get through this struggle, and it may not come without pain and it may not come without worry, but you can get through it, and somewhere along the line you are going to become stronger because of it. And you're going to be able to look back and you're going to be able to look at the blessing of there was a time when you may not have gotten through it. Man. But you can. The answer is never taking your life. The answer is never seeing your way out of here. The answer is never that somebody else, life would be better without you. If somebody's told you that, get away from that person. You are here for a reason. I don't care if you have a deformity. I don't care if you have if you have if you have a learning disability. I don't care if you feel like you are different. I don't care if you're gay, if you're straight. I don't care who you are. I don't care what somebody has labeled you with. You have the ability to be a child of God. You have the ability to do what you're supposed to do. You're still here. You're still breathing. Quit letting people put labels on you and label yourself as a child of God. Accept Him. And then take what He's given you, find a way to use that to the best of your ability. That is when you make the most out of life. Whether you're given 40 years, 140, 90 years, or maybe, who knows? Somebody could be gone tomorrow. It's how life goes. But you have a purpose, for sure. Let me read a couple of the comments here. I believe every human on earth is broken in one way or another. Everyone's been through something. Boy, if they haven't, Kelly, they've been in a box somewhere, right? I got it. I don't get paid to do that. You can make change someone. Yep, just by saying good morning. Absolutely. That's why I do it. Even when I'm not feeling good, Lori, I'm out there like I'm gonna find something for somebody. I'm gonna give somebody some blessing today. I'm gonna bless them with business skills. I'm gonna bless them with a funny story. I'm gonna bless them with a funny TikTok. I'm gonna bless them with something. I'm just gonna be who God made me to be. And God did, when I brought God back into my life, because He's always been there, but when I brought Him back, you know what? He didn't change me in a way. He didn't go, Molly, I'm gonna change your personality now. I'm gonna make you boring. I'm going to make you easygoing. Ask my husband. Believe me, he ain't going to, I'm not always, he's going to tell you, Molly, I'm going to take what you are and I'm going to use it to my glory, to the best of my ability. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep supporting your Avon family. You keep loving your family, even though half of them act like they can't stand you. You keep doing it, no matter what. You keep loving on people. You keep having a heart for the poor. You keep telling people to get back up. You keep sharing that experience, Molly, of every time you've fallen down and you've gotten back up. You keep cooking and sharing those recipes, Molly. You keep being you, because those are the gifts, Molly, that I've given you. Even the one that says when I get it wrong, might take me a minute, but I get back up. I get back up. And that's what I teach a lot of people. You're still here. Get back up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your business. Don't give up on your marriage. Don't give up on your kids. Don't give up on your job. Don't give up on the goals and the dreams that you have in life. Don't give up, because there is greater purpose for you in this world. Don't forget, whether you replay, YouTube, no matter where this is, please drop your prayer request. I will go back through them in the next couple of days. Lee and I will be praying over these. And remember, it's not a genie in the bottle. You may not get what you want, but he's going to get you through it. And eventually, you're going to find out why you didn't get what you wanted exactly when you were supposed to, because it may not have been good for you. Those are moments. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon next Tuesday. Bye.